he might be the most sound tight end in the game right now.
Who do you throw to?
Bowers. He's the most talented tight end.
Are you throwing to Ruggs? Oh wait, he's not even there. Who is their wide receivers there? We're talking best NFL matchups this week. We have a lot of interdivisional rivalry games going on, creating great opportunities for your viewing experience this weekend. We're going to start off with probably one of my favorite games that's going on, the LA Rams, Mike.
Okay.
LA Rams.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this one? I think that they win this matchup.
I mean, I think they're playing better football, obviously, like when you have a veteran quarterback like Stafford with some of the talent they've gotten back, with Cup coming back. I like the Rams are in contention, man. I don't doubt it. It's an interesting. I forget if they're at home or on the road for this one.
They're at home.
They're at home. I think that helps them too. That division right now is a total toss.
And it's LA Rams versus the Eagles. They're a 3-point underdog in this one. The Eagles on the road have a 3-point, spread in this. Look, I think the Eagles are a great team. They've been firing on all cylinders. They've been great ever since Browns come back. However, the sneaky good reemergence of the LA Rams has just been phenomenal. Ever since Cup's been back, Nakua's been back.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams just doing, probably he might be the lone workhorse outside of Saquon in the NFL right now, right? So I like what I see from the Rams side. I wouldn't count them out. They make it to the playoffs. They're a scary team in my opinion. I don't count them out. I'm going with the Rams on this one to pull the upset at home.
I think it's a good game. I like Philly to pull it out. I think the Eagles are going to end up the number 1 seed in the NFC, Dirk. Part of the reason is the defensive line play that they're getting. Have hit on some players in the draft. Defensive line playing much better right now for the Eagles than they were earlier in the season. Really took command of that game. And then, of course, I think you were seeing it, and I've been saying it for years. A number of people have been saying it. Really do think Barkley is the best overall running back and most talented, maybe the most talented player in football.
I think that goes without saying. I don't know how you would argue that.
Stuck behind a really bad team and offensive line, for years in New York. Right now, you're seeing like Saquon break out, and I just think he's such a difference maker. And it's the main reason I have Philly. Last year, the team imploded down the stretch. The year before, they're in the Super Bowl. I still think they are not even a dark horse. They're going to emerge as the favorite out of the NFC again, simply on how good Saquon Barkley is and what a difference maker he is.
Well, if they're going to the Super Bowl, they're going to have to go through one of these two teams. You have the next good matchup this week. That is San Francisco taking on Green Bay. San Francisco on the road and actually a 2-point underdog in this matchup. Mike, I actually like San Francisco in this. I am not convinced about the Packers. I think they have played great football early in the season, but Love hasn't been that great in my opinion this year.
No. But has Purdy?
Well, no, but he's been injured. And also they've been without CMC for most of the season. Actually, I think Purdy's been playing pretty dang good considering that he hasn't had a full roster. So just putting that all on the table. But in this, I think Purdy does very, very well. But CMC being back in this, I see him having 2 touchdowns and them winning by a 10-point victory.
I mean, this could be like the end for San Francisco if they lose this game. Yeah. I mean, that might be a slight overreaction, but obviously letting the one against Seattle slip away last week was brutal. SF has to have this, Dirk, and I'm kind of with you. I don't love Green Bay. I'm going to pick the 49ers in this one as well.
Okay, staying in that same division, this is a really interesting matchup. You have the Seahawks hosting the Arizona Cardinals here, Mike.
Right.
And the Cardinals are the favorite in this one. No one would have said that at the beginning of the season. I think we said worst to first. They were the one that could do that in this. Go back to
I think you went Washington on that.
No. I'm talking about NFC in this division.
In this division, you may have called it.
Yeah, but so sitting on top of the division, you have Arizona in Seattle. This is this is basically a toss-up. You might as well just add it according to the odds. I like Arizona in this one. I think McBride has really come out as probably the best tight end in the game right now. I don't think that you have I mean, frankly speaking, I don't think Kelsey's anywhere close to what he used to be.
No.
And hasn't been playing at that level. McBride has been a huge difference maker. And name another tight end besides Bowers, maybe.
Bowers is the guy. I'd say he's the best.
But they have talent outside of him on that team.
True.
Right? And I'm talking about McBride
Bowers
on
gets
Arizona.
more. Yeah. I mean, I would say McBride right now is a very, very good. He might be the most sound tight end in the game right now.
Who do you throw to?
Bowers.
Bowers.
He's the most talented tight end.
Are you throwing to Ruggs? Oh wait, he's not even there. Who is their wide receivers there? Like seriously,
they're pretty slim pickings. But that part of it though is Bowers is that good. If you're the one guy who's decent on the team and you're still getting a bunch of catches, that means you're pretty good because they're game planning around you. Going back to the matchup, if it is a coin toss game, what do we go to on what decides coin tosses? The stadium that causes earthquakes. Seattle, one of the toughest places, yes, shows up on seismic readings. Seattle, they're fired up after the win last week. Seattle pulls through the 12th man, makes it happen one more time. I pick Seattle.
Kenny Walker, big game here.
Kenneth Walker, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, we have to talk about it. We talked about it a little bit in the upset matchup, but the Broncos take on the Raiders in Denver.
Yeah.
I have Denver winning this one. When Denver goes on the road against the Raiders, historically they do very well. They always did well in Oakland. I think they'll continue that in the Raiders. The Raiders honestly are in such a bad spot. They're going to be up there. I think they're in pursuit of Shedeur Sanders. That seems like a good Raiders pick for them. I don't see them doing much here, and it looks like the rest of the team has really kind of, quit. The only storyline going into this game is the Max Crosby, Bo Nix storyline, and will we see anything out of that? But Mike, am I seeing this wrong?
No, I think you have reason to doubt the Raiders strictly on what you brought up, which is they don't have a whole lot of wide receiver targets, and Denver has one of the best secondaries, if not the best secondary right now. I mean, the Broncos are a very hard team to throw the football against. Look at Atlanta last week. Granted, Mooney got hurt.
That's bad.
Falcons is struggling. But
should have been Penix versus Nix.
I mean, at the end of the day on this one, Dirk, I still think in the NFL, a lot of the time you'll get these random off games where a team just sort of rises up. You think that they're tanking, and then they put a scare into someone. I just get that sense that Denver is going to have a weird letdown game. The Raiders are going to play well.
It's a good one to have it against,
and it's going to happen
here.
It's going to get close. I mean, I think I like Denver by 3 in this, but I don't think it's going to be an easy win for the Broncos like last week was. And if you look back, too, I mean, I was at the game in Denver when they played the Raiders the first go-around. Had Minshew not inexplicably airmailed his, it was Bowers going for the end zone. He threw it 2 feet over his head. Had that not have happened, Denver is in like an 11 or a 14-point hole. I can't remember in that game. Surtain gets the pick 6. It changes the entire direction of the game for Denver. So it wasn't as easy of a win for the Broncos the first go-around as the scoreboard reflected. I think Crosby has a big game and keeps the Raiders in it.
You're highlighting it. Do they have a safety that can actually match up against Bowers in the secondary?
Do the Broncos?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is the Raiders don't have a lot of receivers that are going to test Surtain, so you can always move him around.
Yeah, but that's a huge matchup differential there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Surtain's not the biggest guy, and I feel like Bowers
he's a big corner.
Dude, Bowers, all right, in a matchup. UFC ring. Who you taking? Bowers or Surtain?
Bowers is the bigger guy, but I'd say if you're going to stick a corner on Bowers, Surtain is maybe the one guy in the NFL who could do it.
That's a tough matchup. It's usually a linebacker or safety going against the tight end.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it, though, man. We've seen in the past, for example, Talib would occasionally go up against Gronkowski.
We're talking about Talib, man.
Surtain is that level player.
Dude, he's not yanking chains, though.
He's not yanking chains, you're right. He's not been that level of dog. But to my point, Dirk, who was covering Bowers the last time the Raiders played the Broncos and someone got a pick 6? It was Surtain. He was not actually covering Bowers on the play. He was behind in the coverage, and then the ball was overthrown. But that's the sort of disguised coverage that's there, too. I just don't know if the Raiders have the talent on the outside to really test the Broncos' corners, which allows Vance Joseph to do some interesting scheming. The other thing that the Raiders have going against them is who is the running back at this point? You have Madison, right?
I thought they were going with their rookie.
I guess maybe it is. Yeah, I don't even know. I've lost track.
What happened to Zamir White? What happened?
Well, he was Zamir White. That's yeah. Anyway, there's your picks.